Iraq expelled the Swedish ambassador to the country over the recent Quran burning incident in Stockholm. Kirby Gil Trinidad has more.
The Swedish embassy in Baghdad has suspended operations after protesters stormed the Swedish embassy in the Iraqi capital of Baghdad and set it on fire. The attack took place after Iraqi asylum seeker Salwan Mumika desecrated a copy of the Quran last month in Stockholm, an act that angered the Muslim world. The 37-year-old Iraqi Christian repeated the act on Thursday in front of the presence of the Swedish police. Angry protesters occupied a diplomatic post ahead of the Quran burning, waving flags and chanting slogans for hours while setting part of the building ablaze. Hours later, Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani cut ties with Sweden and expelled the Swedish ambassador to the country. Swedish Foreign Minister Tobias Billström called the attacks completely unacceptable and slammed Iraqi authorities for failing in their responsibility to protect the embassy and its personnel. He warned that the ministry would summon Iraq's chargé d'affaires in Stockholm. Meanwhile, the Iraqi Prime Minister threatened to prosecute those responsible for the attacks. The embassy would be closed to visitors until further notice, while the issuance of passports and emergency documents has also been suspended. Reporting from Sweden, this has been Kirby Gil Trinidad, SM9 News.
The BRICS bloc's expansion has sparked global interest as over 40 countries are eager to join, all eyeing collective political influence. Francine Sagarino has details.
More than 40 countries have expressed interest in joining the BRICS bloc, as revealed by South Africa's envoy. The BRICS group, comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, was established in 2009 to counterbalance the influence of advanced economies. With formal negotiation for expansion starting last year, the growing interest from numerous nations signifies the potential for enhanced collaboration and bolstered political influence in global affairs. Anil Suklal, South Africa's ambassador to BRICS, stated that the 22 countries have formally approached the bloc, and an equal number of informal approaches have been received. Among those interested in joining are Argentina, Bangladesh, the UAE, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and some European nations. The expansion plans have gained support from China and South Africa, but Russia's alignment is expected, while Brazil and India have expressed concerns about potential power declines. Despite BRICS members constituting 42% of global population, they only hold 15% of voting power at the World Bank and IMF. The upcoming BRICS conference, hosted by South Africa, is set to address the expansion topic and its implications, with discussions on membership dynamics expected to be prominent on the agenda. The organization's move towards expanding could mark a significant shift in its overall political influence and partnership in international arena. South Africa is set to host a BRICS Leaders Summit in Johannesburg and will be attended by top leaders of the bloc. Russian President Vladimir Putin, on the other hand, will reportedly attend the summit by video call, with Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov attending the event in person. Reporting this has been Francine Segarino, SM9 News.
The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia said the Gulf country stands ready to prove critics wrong about its multi-billion-dollar futuristic megacity project. Melchizedek Cadiz has news.
Assalamualaikum. Saudi Arabia's so-called ultra-futuristic gigacity has been making waves since it was announced 2 years ago. The $500 billion project has earned praise and at the same time criticisms from critics. A megacity built from scratch standing in the middle of the desert. This is the highly ambitious concept of a linear smart city currently under construction in Saudi Arabia in Neom Tabuk province. The 170-mile-long city known as The Line is designed to have no cars, streets, or carbon emissions and will make it possible for any person to travel from end to end in 20 minutes. The multi-billion-dollar investment is part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 to modernize the country and to transform it into an international showcase. For critics, the project is another attempt by the Crown Prince to improve his image while questioning its sustainability and likability. But the Crown Prince insisted the project is ready to prove the critics wrong noting it will help address Saudi Arabia's growing population, which is expected to jump between 50 to 55 million in 2030. Saudi Arabia, a country famous for its oil and for owning the largest sand desert in the world, prepares to host the Saudi Infrastructure Expo in September. The Gulf nation announced a $1 trillion pipeline of infrastructure projects aimed at diversifying its economy beyond oil. Barakalafikum jamian kan hada Melkisedek Kadi sa Akhbar SMNI, Kuwait.